The city called me useless. Chicago's streets whispered it every time I tapped my white cane against cracked sidewalks, every time someone shoved past without apologizing because they assumed I wouldn't notice. My name is Aurora Kane, and I lost my sight in a car accident when I was 19. That was 8 years ago. 8 years of people talking slower, louder, as if blindness affected my brain instead of my eyes, but they didn't know what I could do. I heard everything. The rustle of a pickpocket's fingers in a tourist's bag 3 stores down. The difference between genuine leather shoes and cheap knockoffs by the sound they made on concrete. The exact moment someone started lying because their breathing changed. Their heartbeat quickened just slightly. That November morning, I was walking home from my job at the downtown library. My cane sweeping left and right in the familiar rhythm I'd perfected. The air smelled like snow coming, mixed with exhaust fumes and someone's cigarette 2 blocks away. I turned down Harbor Street, a shortcut I always took. Then I heard it, a child crying, not the normal crying of a scraped knee or a tantrum. This was terror, pure, suffocating fear in every song. I stopped walking, tilting my head to isolate the sound. Most people can't do this, but I'd trained myself. The crying came from the alley between Morton's Hardware and the abandoned factory. 40 feet to my right. I should have kept walking. Should have called the police and let them handle it. But the child's sobs were growing weaker, as if he was running out of strength to cry. I folded my cane and moved toward the alley, my feet silent on the pavement. Years of navigating the world blind had taught me how to walk without sound when I needed to. I pressed my hand against the brick wall, using it to guide me into the alley. The smell hit me first. Rotting garbage, rat droppings, and something metallic, blood. The child was 15 feet ahead, pressed against the left wall. I could hear his small body shaking, his breathing rapid and shallow. He was maybe 5 years old, based on the pitch of his cries. "Hey," I whispered, keeping my voice soft. "I'm Aurora. I'm here to help." The crying stopped abruptly. I heard him suck in a breath, holding it, probably staring at me with wide eyes. "Are you hurt?" I asked. "I want my daddy," the boy whimpered. His voice was hoarse, like he'd been crying for hours. I crouched down, keeping my distance, so I wouldn't scare him. "What's your name?" "Theo, okay? Theo. Can you tell me what happened?" He sniffled. "Bad men took me. From the park. They put me in a car and brought me here. But I ran away when they were fighting. My blood went cold. This wasn't a lost child. This was a kidnapping. Are the bad men still here? I don't know. I'm scared. It's so dark." I almost smiled at the irony. "Darkness doesn't scare me, Theo. I can't see anything, ever. But my ears work really well. Can you come closer? I promise I won't hurt you." I heard his small feet shuffle across the concrete. He was wearing sneakers, expensive ones by the sound. Probably from a wealthy family, which explained the kidnapping. He stopped 3 feet away. "You can't see. Not even a little bit. But I can hear you breathing. I can hear your heart beating. And I can hear that you're very brave for escaping those bad men." Theo stepped closer, and then I felt his small hand touch mine. His fingers were ice cold, trembling. "We need to get you somewhere safe," I said. "Can you walk?" "My ankle hurts." I twisted it when I jumped out of the car. I stood slowly, keeping hold of his hand. "I'm going to pick you up. Is that okay?" "Okay." I lifted him into my arms. He was heavier than I expected, solid muscle under his shirt. Well fed, well cared for. His parents must be frantic. "Hold on tight," I told him. I carried him out of the alley, my mental map of the neighborhood guiding me. I needed to get to a public place, somewhere with people and lights. The police station was 12 blocks away, too far with a frightened child and possibly kidnappers searching for him. Then I heard footsteps behind us, heavy boots. 2 men, maybe 3. Walking fast, but trying to be quiet. "She's got the kid," one of them hissed. I ran. My world became pure sound and sensation. The slap of my shoes on concrete. Theo's arms locked around my neck. The footsteps behind us growing louder, closer. "Stop right there, bitch." I didn't stop. I turned left onto Madison Street, dodging around what sounded like a newspaper stand. Someone shouted as I bumped them, but I kept running. "Grab her." I felt a hand swipe at my shoulder, missing by inches. I cut right into another alley, my memory of the neighborhood my only guide. This alley had a dumpster 10 feet in, then a chain link fence. I heard the fence before I reached it. the slight rattle of metal in the wind. I stopped, breathing hard, and carefully maneuvered around it. The men weren't so lucky. One of them slammed into the dumpster with a loud curse. The other tripped over something and went down hard. I kept moving, emerging onto Fletcher Avenue. A busy street. Lots of cars and people. Help! I shouted. Someone call the police. These men are trying to kidnap this child. Everything stopped. I heard car brakes squealing, doors opening, voices shouting. The footsteps behind me retreated, running the other way. Miss, are you all right? A man's voice, older, concerned. Call 911, I gasped. This boy was kidnapped. The men who took him just ran that way. I pointed toward the alley. Multiple people started talking at once. I heard phones being pulled out, the beep of numbers being dialed. Theo was crying again, but softer now. Relieved crying. It's okay, I whispered to him. You're safe now. Within 5 minutes, I heard sirens approaching. Police cars, at least 3 of them. Doors opened, heavy boots on pavement. Ma'am, I'm Officer Bradley. Can you tell me what happened? I explained everything while still holding Theo. The boy wouldn't let go of me, his face buried in my shoulder. What's the child's name? Officer Bradley asked. Theo, I said. There was a pause. A long, heavy pause. Miss Kane, the officer said slowly, his voice suddenly tense. Do you know who this child is? No. Why? This is Theodore Vincent Castellano. His father is Vincent Castellano. The name hit me like a fist. Everyone in Chicago knew that name. Vincent Castellano wasn't just rich. He was the most powerful mob boss in the city, and I was holding his son. They took us to the police station in separate cars. Not because I was in trouble, but because suddenly I was the most important witness in Chicago. Theodore Castellano had been missing for 6 hours. The entire city's underground was searching for him. I sat in an interview room, my hands wrapped around a cup of coffee someone had given me. I could hear people rushing past in the hallway, phones ringing, voices shouting orders. Miss Kane, a woman's voice said, "Detective." Her heels clicked as she sat across from me. "I'm Detective Foster. You did an incredible thing today. I just heard a child crying." "How did you know where he was?" "The alley isn't visible from Harper Street." I heard him. Sound carries differently in alleys. It echoes, and you ran from the kidnappers while blind, carrying a child through streets you couldn't see. I shifted in my chair. I know this neighborhood. I've lived here my whole life. I have a mental map. Detective Foster was quiet for a moment. I heard her pen tapping against paper. "Miss Kane, Mr. Castellano wants to meet you. To thank you personally." My stomach dropped. "That's not necessary. I don't think you understand. When Vincent Castellano wants to meet someone, they meet him. They drove me to Castellano's estate an hour later. I sat in the back of an unmarked car, my white cane folded on my lap, my heart pounding. The car stopped. A door opened. Strong hands helped me out, not roughly but firmly. "This way, Miss Kane." I was guided up stone steps. I counted 23, then through a door that whooshed expensively on its hinges. The floor beneath my feet changed from concrete to marble, then to thick carpet. Classical music played softly from somewhere above. The air smelled like leather, cigars, and money. "Mr. Castellano will see you now." I was led into a room. The door closed behind me with a heavy click. "Miss Kane." The voice was deep, controlled, dangerous. "Sit." I felt for the chair and sat. My hands were shaking, so I gripped my cane tight. "Do you know what you did today?" Vincent Castellano asked. "I helped a lost child. You saved my son. My only son. The men who took him work for my enemies. They were going to kill him and send me pieces. I felt sick. I owe you a debt," he continued. "Name your price." I didn't want anything from a mob boss. I wanted to go home, crawl into bed, and forget this day happened. "I don't want money," I said quietly. "Everyone wants something. I just want to go home." Silence, long and heavy. "No," he finally said. I froze. "What?" "You can identify the men who took my son by their voices, their footsteps. You're a witness. You're also a target now. If they find out who you are, they'll kill you. Then don't tell anyone. Too late. Half the police force knows. Someone will talk. They always do." His chair creaked as he leaned forward. "You'll stay here, under my protection, until this is over. I don't want your protection. I don't care what you want." His voice hardened. "You saved my son's life. Now I'm saving yours. This isn't a negotiation. My hands tightened on my cane. I'd spent 8 years fighting for independence, for the right to live my life without people controlling me. And now a mob boss was taking that away. They gave me a room on the second floor. It was bigger than my entire apartment, with a bed so soft I sank into it like a cloud. Someone had unpacked my things. My clothes, my books, everything from my apartment. How did you get my stuff? I asked the woman who'd brought me. Mr. Castellano sent people, she replied. Her name was Marie, the head housekeeper. Her voice was kind but firm. You'll be safe here, Miss Kane. I'm a prisoner. You're a guest. Guests can leave. She didn't answer that. After she left, I explored the room by touch. A dresser, a desk, a bathroom with a tub big enough for 3 people. Everything expensive, pristine. I sat on the bed and put my face in my hands. A knock came at the door. Miss Aurora, Theo's voice. I stood quickly. Come in. The door opened. I heard his small feet padding across the carpet, then felt his arms wrap around my waist. Thank you for saving me, he whispered. I knelt down and hugged him back. You're welcome, Theo. How are you feeling? My ankle's better. The doctor wrapped it. Daddy says you're staying here now. For a little while, I said. Good. I like you. You're not scared of the dark. I smiled despite everything. The dark is my friend. Can you teach me how to hear things like you do? Maybe, if your dad says it's okay. He says whatever you need, we have to give you. He's really happy you found me. Theo's voice dropped to a whisper. He cried when they brought me home. I've never seen Daddy cry. Something shifted in my chest. Vincent Castellano was a monster to most people. But to this little boy, he was just a father who'd almost lost his son. I'm glad you're home safe, I told Theo. Will you read me a story? Marie says you have books with bumps on them, Braille. And yes, I can read you a story. We sat on the bed, and I pulled out one of my books. I read to Theo until his breathing evened out and he fell asleep against my shoulder. I heard the door open quietly. Footsteps, Vincent's footsteps. I'd already memorized the sound of them. He didn't say anything, just stood there. He fell asleep. I whispered, I'll take him. Vincent's voice was softer than before. I felt him lift Theo carefully from beside me. The boy mumbled something in his sleep, but didn't wake. Vincent stood there for a moment longer. Thank you for reading to him. He's a sweet kid. He is. Takes after his mother. Where is she? Dead. 3 years ago. Cancer. I'm sorry. Another pause. Then, the men who took Theo work from Malcolm Drake. He's trying to take over my territory. This was a message. Why are you telling me this? Because you're involved now. Because you deserve to know who wants you dead. I stood up, anger flaring. I didn't ask for any of this. I just helped a child, and that makes you a threat to Drake. He can't let you identify his men. I can't identify them. I can't see, but you can hear. You could pick their voices out of a lineup. That makes you dangerous. He moved closer. I could smell his cologne, expensive and sharp. I meant what I said. You're under my protection now. No one touches you. No one. What if I want to leave? Then you die. Probably within 24 hours. I wanted to argue, to fight, to demand my freedom. But I knew he was right. I'd stumbled into a war between monsters, and now I was a piece on their board. How long? I asked quietly, until Drake is dealt with. And how will you deal with him? Vincent's voice went cold. That's not your concern. He left, carrying Theo. The door closed. The lock didn't click, but I knew I couldn't leave. Not really. I lay down on the expensive bed in my expensive prison and tried not to cry. The next morning, Marie brought me breakfast in bed. Mr. Castellano wants to see you in his study at 9 o'clock. Why? He didn't say at 9. Someone led me down hallways and stairs. I counted steps, memorizing the layout. The study smelled like leather and old books. Sit, Vincent said. I sat. I've been thinking about your ability. This hearing of yours. It's remarkable. It's just compensation. When you lose one sense, the others strengthen. I want you to help me. My hands gripped the chair arms. Help you how? Drake has a traitor in my organization. Someone feeding him information. I want you to find out who. I stared in his direction, speechless. You said no. I finally managed. I'm not getting involved in your war. You're already involved. And you have a skill no one else has. You can hear lies. That's not how it works. Yes, it is. I've watched you. You knew when Officer Bradley was nervous at the station. You knew when Marie was hiding something earlier. You hear the changes in breathing, in heartbeat, in voice. He was right. I did hear those things. I won't do it, I said. Then the traitor keeps feeding information to Drake. More of my men die. Eventually, Drake gets bold enough to come for Theo again. And this time, you won't be there to save him. My stomach twisted. That's not fair. Life isn't fair, Miss Kane, but you can help me protect my son. Isn't that worth something? I sat there, trapped. He'd cornered me perfectly. What would I have to do? I asked quietly, listen, I'll bring people into this room. You'll hear them answer questions. Tell me who's lying, and then what happens to them. Vincent's voice went flat. That's not your concern. If I do this, I'm helping you kill someone. You're helping me protect my son. He brought in 7 people that day. One by one, they entered the study and answered Vincent's questions. Simple things. Where were you Tuesday night? Who did you meet with? What did you discuss? I sat in the corner, my head tilted, listening. The first man was nervous, but honest. His breathing was steady, his voice clear. The second was scared, but truthful. The third was lying. I heard it in the hitch of his breath when Vincent asked about a meeting. The slight increase in his pulse. The way his voice went up half an octave. When he left, Vincent looked at me. Well, he lied. When you asked about meeting someone at the docks, Vincent nodded slowly. Anyone else? 2 more people came through. Both honest. Then the 6th person entered, and my entire body went cold. I recognized his footsteps. The weight of them, the rhythm. He was one of the kidnappers. The one who'd grabbed at my shoulder when I ran with Theo, Miss Kane. Vincent's voice was sharp. What is it? That man, I whispered. He's one of them. The ones who took Theo. The room exploded. Vincent was across the floor in seconds. I heard the man try to run, but Vincent caught him. The sound of fist meeting flesh, a body hitting the wall. Please, the man begged. Please, Mr. Castellano, I can explain. You took my son. Vincent's voice was death itself. Drake made me. He said he'd kill my family if I didn't help. I don't care. More sounds of violence. The man screaming. I put my hands over my ears, but I couldn't block it out. Then silence. I heard dragging. The door opened. The body was pulled out. Vincent returned. His breathing was heavy. Thank you, Miss Kane. I was shaking. Did you kill him? Not yet. He'll tell me everything he knows first. Then yes, I felt sick. I can't do this. I can't help you kill people. You're not killing anyone. You're protecting Theo. It's the same thing. Vincent moved closer. I heard his knees hit the floor in front of my chair. His hands gripped the armrests on either side of me. Listen to me, he said quietly. That man helped kidnap my 5-year-old son. He would have held him down while they cut off his fingers to send to me. You think he deserves mercy? Tears ran down my face. I don't know. I don't know anything anymore. Vincent's hand touched my cheek. Gentle, too gentle for a man who'd just beaten someone bloody. You have a good heart, he said. That's rare in my world. But don't waste it on people who would have hurt Theo. He stood and walked away. The door closed. I sat there crying, hating myself for helping him, hating him for forcing me, hating this entire situation. Later, Marie brought dinner. Mr. Castellano says you should eat. I'm not hungry. He also says you're free to move around the house. You're not a prisoner. Yes, I am. Marie sighed. He's not a bad man, Miss Kane. He's just a man trying to protect his son. He's a killer. So are the police. So are soldiers. The only difference is who tells them it's okay to kill. I didn't have an answer for that. That night, I couldn't sleep. I left my room and explored the house by touch and sound. The hallways were wide, the floors expensive hardwood. I found the stairs and went down. Music was playing somewhere. Piano, soft and sad. I followed the sound. The music led me to a room on the 1st floor. I pushed the door open carefully. Come in, Miss Kane. Vincent's voice came from across the room. I didn't mean to interrupt. You're not. I couldn't sleep either. I heard him playing. His fingers moved across the keys with surprising grace. The melody was haunting, beautiful. I didn't know you played, I said. My wife taught me. Before she got sick, the music stopped. She was a music teacher. Classical piano. She said music was the only pure thing in the world. I moved into the room, using the sound of his breathing to navigate. I found a chair and sat. What was her name? Isabella? Bella. His voice cracked slightly. She knew what I was, what I did. But she loved me anyway. She said everyone deserves someone who sees the good in them. Did she see good in you? She saw the man I could have been. If I'd made different choices. He played again. A different song this time. Softer. Do you miss her? I asked. Every day. Every hour. Theo looks just like her. Same eyes. Same smile. Sometimes it hurts to look at him. We sat in silence for a while. Just the music and the darkness. I'm sorry, I finally said. For what you lost. I'm sorry too. For forcing you into this. Then let me go. I can't. Drake is still out there. His men are still searching for you. How do you know? Because I found 2 of them watching your apartment building yesterday. I took care of it. My blood went cold. What does that mean? It means they won't be watching anymore. He'd killed them. Because of me. This has to end. I whisper. This war. These deaths. It will end when Drake is dead. And then. Another Drake will rise. Another enemy. It never stops, does it? Vincent stopped playing. No, it doesn't. Then why do you do it? Because Theo needs me. Because this empire was built by my father and his father. Because if I walk away, someone worse takes over. That's an excuse. Maybe, but it's my excuse. He started playing again. I sat listening, trapped in a world I didn't understand, helping a man I should have hated, protecting a child I was starting to love. 3 days passed. I found the traitor. He confessed everything. Vincent's men took him away. Malcolm Drake sent a message the next day. A severed hand delivered in a box. One of Vincent's soldiers. The war was escalating. Theo stayed close to me. He'd started having nightmares about the kidnapping. He'd wake up screaming, and only I could calm him down. I dreamed they took me again, he'd sob. And you couldn't find me. I'll always find you. I promised. No matter what. Vincent watched us with an expression I couldn't see, but could hear in his breathing. Something between gratitude and pain. He's attached to you, Vincent said one evening. We were in his study. Theo was asleep upstairs. I know, when this is over, when you leave, it'll hurt him. I know that too. Then stay. I turned my head toward his voice. What? Stay. Not as a prisoner, as family. Theo needs you. Double quotes he stopped. I need you. My heart pounded. You don't even know me. I know you're brave. I know you're kind. I know you saved my son when anyone else would have walked past. That doesn't mean I should stay. No, but maybe you want to. Did I? I'd been here 2 weeks, and despite everything, despite the violence and the fear, I felt something I hadn't felt in years. Needed. Not pitied. Not tolerated. Needed. I can't be part of your world, I said quietly. You already are. Before I could answer, glass shattered somewhere in the house. Then gunshots. Vincent was moving instantly. Stay here. Lock the door. What's happening? Drake's attacking. Now. More gunshots, shouting. I heard men running through the halls. Then Theo's scream from upstairs. I didn't think, I ran. Up the stairs, my hands on the railing, counting steps. Down the hall. Theo's room was the 4th door on the right. I burst through. The window was broken. Cold air rushed in. Theo or Aura. His voice came from the closet. I ran to him, feeling for the door, yanking it open. He threw himself into my arms. They're here. The bad men are back. I pulled him out of the closet, my mind racing. We couldn't stay here. The window was broken. Anyone could climb through. I carried Theo into the hall. Gunshots echoed from downstairs. I needed to hide him somewhere safe. The panic room. Vincent had told me about it days ago. 3rd floor, behind the bookshelf in the library. I ran down the hall, Theo clinging to me, my mental map guiding me. Stairs up to the 3rd floor. Turn right. The library door was open. I felt along the bookshelf, found the hidden latch Vincent had shown me. The shelf swung open, revealing a steel door. I punched in the code he'd made me memorize. The door opened. Get inside, I told Theo. Come with me. I will, I promise. But I need to lock this from the outside. No one can get in if I do. You'll be safe. No, don't leave me. Theo, I grabbed his face gently. Remember what I said? I'll always find you. No matter what. I need to help your daddy. But I'll come back. I swear. He was crying, but he nodded. I pushed him inside and closed the door. The lock engaged with a heavy click. Then I ran back downstairs. The gunshots had stopped. The house was eerily quiet. I moved carefully, listening. Footsteps in the main hall. Too many to count. Find the kid. A voice shouted. Not Vincent's, Drake's men. He's not in his room. Then search every room. And find the blind bitch. Boss wants her dead. I pressed myself against the wall. My heart hammered so loud I was sure they'd hear it. Footsteps came closer. I held my breath. They passed me, heading upstairs. I needed to find Vincent. I needed to help him. I moved through the house using touch and memory. The study door was open. I slipped inside. Vincent. I whispered. No answer. I heard breathing. Shallow. Pained. Vincent. I followed the sound. He was on the floor behind his desk. I knelt beside him, my hands finding his chest. Wet. Sticky. Blood. You should have stayed in your room, he rasped. How bad is it? Bad enough. Where's Theo? Safe? Panic room. My hand shook as I tried to assess his wound. We need to get you help. My men are coming. Drake didn't bring enough people. He thought surprise would be enough. As if on cue, I heard sirens. More gunshots outside. Shouting. Vincent's men were fighting back. Hold on, I begged. Please hold on. His hand found mine. If I don't make it, don't say that. If I don't make it, you take Theo. You raise him. Keep him away from this life. Vincent, promise me. Tears ran down my face. I promise. The door burst open. I heard running footsteps. Multiple people. Boss. Alio's voice. Vincent's second in command. He's hurt, I said. He needs a doctor. Already here, another voice said. Hands pulled me away from Vincent. I stood there, useless, listening to them work on him. We got Drake, Alio said. He's dead. We won, but at what cost? They took Vincent away on a stretcher. Someone led me out of the study. I heard helicopters landing outside. Theo, I said. I need to get Theo. I'll take you, Alio said. He led me upstairs to the library. I opened the panic room. Theodore Aura. He ran out and grabbed me. Your daddy's hurt, but he's going to be okay. I hoped I wasn't lying. Vincent survived. The bullet had missed major organs by inches. He spent a week in the hospital, then came home. Drake's organization fell apart without him. The war was over, and I was still here. You can leave, Vincent told me one evening. We were in his study. Theo was asleep upstairs. Drake's dead. His men are scattered. You're safe now, I know. So why are you still here? I turned toward his voice. Because Theo needs me. Because ... I swallowed hard. Because I need him. I need both of you. Vincent moved closer. I felt his hand touch my face. I love you, he said quietly. I know it's insane. I know we barely know each other. But I love you. You love what I did for Theo. No, I love you. The woman who runs blind through streets carrying a child. The woman who reads bedtime stories in Braille. The woman who sees the good in a monster. I touched his hand on my face. I'm not staying because you're forcing me. I'm staying because I want to. Even knowing what I am. Especially knowing what you are. Because you're also a father who cried when his son came home. A man who plays piano to remember his wife. A man trying to be better. He kissed me then. Soft and careful and desperate. When we pulled apart, he whispered, I don't deserve you. Maybe not. But you're stuck with me anyway. Later, I went to check on Theo. He was awake, sitting up in bed. Are you staying forever? He asked, would you like that? Yes, I want you to be my mom. My throat tightened. I'm not your mom, Theo. I could never replace her. I know. But you could be my second mom. Daddy says people can have two moms if they're lucky. I sat on his bed and hugged him. Then yes, I'm staying forever. The city still called me useless sometimes. But in this house, with this broken family, I'd found something I thought I'd lost when the accident took my sight. Purpose, home, love. And that was worth everything.